Hey folks, thanks for joining us today. John Hennessy here from Hennco Waterjet, and in today's short video we are going to cover a leak at the cutting head weep hole. Hey folks, let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's take a look at our cutting head, and as you can see here, water is coming out of the weep hole quite aggressively in this flow style ECL head. Right, regardless of what cutting head you use, when you get water squirting out of the weep hole at the cutting head, it typically indicates an issue between the seating surface between the down tube and the orifice. So to begin with, we're going to want to go ahead and disconnect the high pressure line and set that aside for now. All right, moving along, we're going to go ahead and take the air line out of the air actuator and set that aside for now. And then next we're going to want to grab our open-ended box wrench and go ahead and break free the adapter from the cutting head. Once loose, go ahead and unthread the assembly from the cutting head. Alright, now that these two are apart, we can go ahead and inspect both the top of the orifice inside the cutting head, and in this case, once we inspected the bottom of the down tube that seats up against the orifice, we were able to identify the problem, which is a crack you're going to see here in this picture. Alright, so at this point we know that we need to replace the down tube. So we're going to go ahead and take the entire assembly, bring it over to a vise, using the on-off valve collar, or they call it the down tube collar, and place that in the vise. Go ahead and use an open-ended wrench, place that on the valve body, and loosen the on-off valve assembly from the down tube. Alright, you're going to want to go ahead and take the valve collar and the valve retainer off of the bad down tube and set those aside for now. Alright, back at the machine, we're going to want to go ahead and grab some blue goop and prepare to put the new down tube together with the on-off valve and back on the machine. Alright, let's go ahead and grab our blue goop and our new adapter, and we're going to go ahead and place the blue goop on the north threads, or the threads closest to the air actuator. And as seen here, we like to use a little brush and go ahead and make sure that the blue goop is evenly distributed across the threads. And making sure that we get the top side of the down tube where the on-off valve seat is going to come in contact with the down tube. Alright, once we're done with our blue goop, we're going to go ahead and grab the down tube retainer as well as the collar and go ahead and thread that collar on all the way to the down position. An important note that some of the aftermarket down tubes do have a different thread length on the down tube, so it's going to be important to set that collar at the right depth to ensure everything seals properly. Moving along, we're going to go ahead and blue goop some of our other threads. As seen here, we're going to put some blue goop on the thread on the valve body and thread the two pieces together until everything seats. And as well, we're going to apply blue goop to the south end of the down tube on the cutting head side. Making sure to apply blue goop to the very bottom of the down tube where that down tube is going to come in connection with the orifice. Alright, let's go ahead and check to make sure that our orifice is still in the cutting head, and then begin to thread in the down tube into the cutting head until hand tight. Alright, let's go ahead and grab two wrenches, one for the top of the cutting head and the other one for the flat on the down tube, and using the two wrench technique, we're going to go ahead and tighten the down tube to the cutting head and the orifice as well. Alright, you can see the next step is we got to connect the high pressure line. As you can see here, it doesn't align, so one of the things we have to do is twist the on-off valve to make sure that the high pressure line is going to connect in the proper location. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and take again two open-ended wrenches, one for the down tube collar and the other one for the valve body, and once again using the two wrench technique, go ahead and tighten those two in place. Alright, the system that we're at here at the customer site is a dynamic, so right next to the cutting head they have a 90-degree swivel, and as seen here, one of the things we're going to want to do is inspect those threads, and once again we're going to go ahead and apply some blue goop to the threads on the swivel here. All right, next we're going to go ahead and reapply the collar onto the swivel shaft. And once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and install the swivel shaft or the threaded end of the swivel into the valve body. All right, moving along, we're going to grab our open-ended wrench, put that on the gland, and go ahead and tighten that gland into the valve body collar as seen here. All right, and then to finish things up, we're going to go ahead and reattach the air line to the top of the air actuator as seen here. All right, we're all set to go ahead and turn on the pump and the cutting head, and let's check our work. And as you can see here, our leak is gone, and which means we're good to go ahead and get back up and cutting. And as always, folks, if you have any questions whatsoever on your water jet, give us a call, 1-833-4Hennco.